Hey, what's up, everybody? I am DJ Shockley. Thank you guys for joining me for Falcons Film Review, presented by Microsoft Servers. And today, we're talking about the wideouts for the Falcons. You're talking about having a huge day. They had a huge day versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I got a couple plays I'm going to show you of just how good they were in this ball game, but some of the small nuances that they use to get open that helps them create some big-time plays. So we're talking Pitts, we're talking Mooney, and we're talking my man Drake. Combined to have 28 catches between them. Of the 42 that Kirk threw out in that ball game versus Tampa, they were rolling. They had a big-time day. But here's some of the small things that allowed them to get open and how the Falcons created. So this play here is on that, remember that first drive, and my man Kyle Pitts has his big seam route going down the middle of the field. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw up the routes. Now, this is called a mirrored concept. Mirrored concepts means you have the same thing on both sides. So on the outside, you're going to have Drake running on a comeback to the outside. At the top up here, another comeback on the outside. And then you're going to have seam routes running right down the middle of the seam. Seam routes running right down the middle of the seam. Now, the one thing I want you to watch is when they run these seam routes, they try to get as close to the top of the numbers as possible. Why is that important? Because it puts more strain on this guy right in the middle of the field right here. This safety right here in the middle of the field. This is the guy Kirk has to read off of because they're playing what's called a zone blitz. So a zone blitz on this particular play here. You see the routes, here's the concepts, and in this particular zone blitz, the weaknesses in this defense are right here in the middle, right here in the seams, right here, right down the seams because they put so much pressure on this particular safety. Now, here's the other thing to think about here. I said a zone blitz, right? I'm going to show you what a zone blitz looks like. Tampa is going to blitz what we call a saw dog. So really, you have the Sam and you have the wheel backer right here. They look like nickel guys, but that's what they're called in this particular defense. They call it a saw dog. So basically what happens is it looks like this guy's going to blitz, but he's not. What happens is you're going to get a blitz off this edge, you're going to get a blitz off this edge, and then this guy here is going to bail. He's going to bail, and he's going to bail, and then they're going to play cover 3 on the backside. So you got third of the field, and this guy has a third of the field. And I mentioned the holes in this defense that are very good for you right here, through the seams. And who's going down the seam? Kyle Pitts is going down the seam. So this is exactly what it looks like. They're going to bring 6 guys. We got 5, we got 6 to pick this up. But an unbelievable job of these receivers and guys doing the nuances to get this play down the field. So here's the start of the play here. Kyle Pitts is right here. Now watch here. Soon as he gets here, remember I mentioned about them getting as close as they can to the top of those numbers? Look where they are right here. Look at this. Ray is at the top of, almost at the top of the number. Look at Kyle at the top of these numbers here. And look how much space he has between this safety and these guys. So he has to choose. The safety has to choose, who do I go to? Look at Kirk's head. His head is looking right down the middle of this field. And the purpose of that, he wants to keep his head right down the middle of this field so it gives him an opportunity to shoot it down the field. Now you keep eyes right down the middle of the field on him and keeps him in the middle of the field. Now, Kirk can dictate which way he wants to go. If he wants to hold his safety on this side and think he's going to throw it to him, he'll turn his shoulders just a little bit this way to open it up, and that safety sitting in the middle of the field will rotate his hips and go a little bit towards that way, which will open up this guy. Now also watch the timing. Soon as he gets by this defender, watch the football come out. Perfect timing here when the ball comes out, puts it on Kyle, and this is a big-time 32-yard gain here. Nuances of it. They bring the blitz, we pick it up, we know exactly what the coverage is. The guys do a good job of staying on their landmarks on the top of the numbers. Ultimately ends up in a big-time play. Now let's talk about this. This is the London touchdown here. It's a wonderful job here of what's going on. They're playing some kind of little zone coverage here. Now watch what happens here. Now the one thing I want you to pay attention to, look at this backer. This is the guy that you're going to play it off of, and this nickel guy. What you're going to do is you're going to get motion outside here. Motion out here. When he motions out here, this forces this defender to kind of expand just a little bit. You're going to watch London do what we call a little hezzy. Hezzy means he just comes off the line of scrimmage, real hesitates just for a little bit to allow everything to kind of unfold. Now, I mentioned this guy. He's important for one reason. Tyler Algier, you're going to have 3 guys to this side of the field. 1, 2, 3 guys defenders here. They're all going to push this way. Now, when Tyler Algier runs his route and he comes out on this side of the field, that forces this guy now to push towards this way. Why is that important? Because it opens up the window between this backer and this nickel guy, and now Drake has kind of a 3-way go on this choice route. 3-way to go. He can sit it down for a zone, he can break out, or he can break in. Drake is so smart. He understands 3 are pushing this way. It increases the lane that he can have to run this route. All right, let's watch it. Let's watch it all unfold here. Motion comes out. Look at him unfold here. There's a little hezzy. Now he squares him up. Look at this defender. He's squared up now. But remember I talked about this guy? Watch him. Now the Tyler just coming across this side. Watch him have to kind of match him this way. And then ultimately what happens is, watch the void here. Look at all the space in between him now. Look at all this space. Because he went that way, now Drake has all the room to go be a physical receiver and get in the zone. That's what you like out of your big-time receiver. Nice job of execution and understanding where the help is for the defense and then creating that lane for a big-time play, which ultimately ended up in a touchdown. Now, this play here is just an unbelievable play. And I'll be honest, it's not much to break down. My man Darnell Mooney just made an outstanding play, but Kirk trusting Darnell Mooney to be where he's supposed to be, and Kirk does a good job of putting it at a high point for him to go up and get the football. So this is usually what happens on this play here. This guy usually clears out the zone and gets the safety, get the DB out of there, and then you have Hodge coming through here on an end cut. And then usually because you clear out all this because of this, you hit this end cut coming in the middle. But Kirk said, you know what? I trust Darnell Mooney. I trust Darnell Mooney to go get the football in space. And watch an unbelievable job of staying aware on this route here. Kirk let this football go. Look where he's about to let this football go. He's about on the 10-yard line. And the great thing about this, when Kirk lets this football go, look at the head of this guy. He's looking at Darnell Mooney. He's not looking at the football. Kirk understands I can give my guy a chance to go get it. And the safety's way outside. Here's the other safety, way outside. So here's the void. Kirk understanding I can get this football to him, and him staying skinny gives him an opportunity to get this football. And then he throws it at a high point, go up and get the football. Look at that football. Going up and get it. Unbelievable job, a contested catch, and getting in the zone. Just an unbelievable job of Darnell Mooney understanding where he is inside the field and settling down just a little bit, not running through that zone so that he can give his quarterback a chance to go get the football. And guess what? Another big-time touchdown, another big-time play. Now, here's Mooney again, another play here. This is the touchdown play that he had. It's a big 4th down here. Maybe it's like 4th and 2, 4th and 3 on this play. And Darnell Mooney is going to run, again, another option route. Now, here's the coverage. They're playing quarters. In quarters coverage, these 2 guys are most important. Quarters, these guys. And what's going to happen is the Falcons do a good job of controlling these 2 players so that you can get one-on-one with this nickel guy here. Here's Ray Ray. He's going to run a corner route. When he runs this corner route, these 2 guys must go with him. So now all that leaves is one-on-one with him. And he's going to run another choice option route. And he has the option to break in, break out, sit down off his leverage. Darnell Mooney. Remember I talked about Drake London using the hezzy? The hezzy is important because it allows the play to kind of unfold. And he can see what leverage the guy's playing, and he doesn't have to rush it, and the quarterback and him can be on the same page. So let's watch it unfold here. Remember I talked about quarters coverage. Boom. Now here's the quarters coverage here. See both these guys, see both their eyes? Both their eyes are looking at him. So these guys are out of the play. Now you got one-on-one versus him. Because of what he did, let's go back to the beginning of the play. Watch the hesitation at the top. Little small hesitation, boom. See the small hesitation? He's allowing this to get out and unfold so that he can play off this particular defensive back. Now, and watch him get to the top. Look at the flat foot of this DB. Now you can look at my man Mooney can break out. He can break in. He has the opportunity to have a 2-way go here because he got this guy flat-footed. He does a good job of sticking his foot in the ground here. And now look at all the sideline he has over here. So much sideline all the way over here. At least 10 yards worth of sideline. And remember, these guys are gone. So this is a one-on-one route in space with one of the quickest guys in the league in Darnell Mooney. And watch what he does. Puts him on skates. Now he's got leverage. Now he can be an athlete and go make a play. And guess what? Ultimately, another big-time TD from Mooney. The small nuances of the routes, the coverage, understanding where the help is what makes these receivers so good. All right, this last one here. Everybody saw it. The touchdown to win the ball game in overtime to my man Hodge. And remember, Hodge came in about 2 or 3 plays in the ball game for Drake London when he was banged up. He was ready for his opportunity and ran the right route. So what happens is they're going to bring Mooney in motion here and then bring him back across. This is just to understand, do I have man or do I have zone? Now, when I play it, If a man goes with him, guess what? You know you got man. Here's the motion. Look at him go with him. Look at this guy go with him. That tells Kirk Cousins right now, okay, I got man coverage. Now, usually, this is not a really good route versus man coverage. But what Hodge is going to do is going to run a little curl and come right back to the football. The excellent job of being on his point and on his time here. Good job with landmark. Now you got a boom. Now here's the last part of this play. Watch where this football is. Knowing that there's defensive back. Look, you can see the defensive back behind Hodge here. He is driving on this football from the inside. Driving from the inside. Ball placement is so important for a quarterback. He puts this ball on his left shoulder here away from the defensive back that's trying to come through. This is perfect job here. Now, understanding he's coming from the inside, he does a good job of putting it on him, and now he just spins out of it, and he makes a big-time play, and we know the rest is history. Going in for the touchdown, the small nuances by these receivers to be ready when their opportunity is called, when their number is called, is a reason why the Falcons were able to win a big-time ball game over Tampa Bay. Remember, these receivers are just starting to hit their peak and they're starting to get better. This is going to be a fun offense to watch. So many options to get the football to, and Kirk Cousins is wheeling and dealing. I want to thank you guys for joining me. I am DJ Shockley. This has been Falcons Film Review presented by Microsoft Surface. See you guys next week.